Okay, we are recording.
I'd give it a couple more minutes.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's always difficult to find the right time to do things, you know?
Maybe we can learn a little bit about who we're here before we introduce ourselves. Who is here? Christian, what do you do?
What do I do?
Are you a student?
Yes, I'm a student.
Where do you go?
American Canyon High.
Oh, okay. A lot of students in our career academy from American Canyon.
Aren't you in a class right? You either took a class in the fall or the spring, right?
Yes, I'm enrolled in class. I'm just looking for something to do in the summer, maybe.
Gotcha. Perfect. What about Celine? How about you?
Hello, I'm Selena Herrera, and I go to Calistoga Junior Senior High School. I'm also currently enrolled in a class at the CyberOps.
That's what I thought. That just got started this week, so switching gears a little bit for you. And then Austin, did you hold on?
Oh, hello.
There you are.
Will this require us to have like a Windows PC or something? Because I'm doing this on a Chromebook and I don't have access to a Windows PC.
It depends on which class you take, to be honest with you. We'll talk more about that later.
Austin, I have to ask, is your mom Melissa?
Yes.
Did you go to New Tech for 1 year?
I did.
Yeah, I had you. I miss you.
Wait. Who is this?
This is
Oh,
Miss
now I know
Valerie.
who you are. I had you for
Digital design.
4th or 5th. I don't remember. But yeah, now go to Napa.
How's it going in Napa?
It's going all right. I think I'm having better grades there, but I don't know. Like I don't really know. Like there's some days where I miss my old school, but then there's other days where I like being at Napa better.
Yeah.
It just depends on how I feel.
Yeah. You're always welcome back.
Yeah.
And we didn't put Rogelio on the spot, right?
Rogelio. We haven't asked. Rogelio, introduce yourself. He might be away from his keyboard.
Okay, well, we can start.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get started.
Michelle, you might want to put your name on your video.
I forgot that I'm
because you're important. You need to know who you are.
I forgot that I'm on the NapaLearns account instead of my own, so that's why. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Glad to see you guys here tonight. I can't believe we're already talking about summer already. It seems impossible. It feels like spring literally just started, but we're almost halfway through. So let me get, there we go. So we'll start with a few introductions of the people here. We'll do an overview of what NapaLearns and specifically the Virtual Career Academy is about. And then our 3 classes that we are offering for the summer are Python, social media marketing, and Adobe Lab. And then we should have plenty of time for Q&A, I think, today. We also have some of our older information sessions that I think we're going to put on our website, just so that if people want to look at older ones, they can. So our instructors for the summer Lisa Gottfried and JP Castillo are going to be doing Adobe Lab, which is the chance to investigate the Adobe suite in depth with the goal of getting a certification in one of the Adobe products. So if you want to do Photoshop or Illustrator or InDesign or Premiere or After Effects, and then there are a few others that are available for you if you want to try them. So Adobe Lab, again, our instructors are Lisa and JP. Claudette Chateau is our social media marketing instructor. She's really good at marketing, comes from, I'll let her introduce herself as well, but lots of good stuff to say about digital marketing and social media marketing. And then Nasser is our Python programming instructor. He's one of the newer instructors we have, but he has done a fabulous job with our last group of Python students. So we're very excited to have you. And when they go to talk about their class, I'll let them talk about themselves a little more then. So NapaLearns was founded 11 years ago now, I guess, right, Peg?
Yeah. In our 11th year.
Yeah. And the goal is to be able to help teachers innovate and help students be able to learn more. One of the things that we have worked on recently is focus on career readiness. And we are the most interested in high demand, high paying jobs that are not offered in any other way in Napa Valley. And so back a little over a year ago, we all know things went a little crazy.
March 13th.
Yeah, we decided at that point that we were going to launch a virtual career academy so that we could offer these classes to high school students and adults who either want to learn new skills to get a better job, or if they are unemployed, to get a job, period. Peg, do you have anything you want to add? Oh, by the way, Peg Maddox is the executive director of NapaLearns, and I am the director of career readiness programs.
Nope, you did a good job, Michelle. I will emphasize that we normally work on pay for programs that happen in the schools during the school day, like math programming K-8 right now in Napa Unified. We pay for the some of the software called Dreambox, but because of COVID, the school districts they couldn't really spend time working with us. So this is the first time we've done a program direct to students for around career readiness. And we started out with focusing just on high school students. Last year, our first courses started in August, but then other people started asking us if they could take the courses. So we had kids who had graduated from college and couldn't find a job, or people that were unemployed, wanted to upskill. So right now, our youngest person we've ever had is 13, and our oldest person we've ever had in class is 70. So it's been great for the kids in high school to intermingle with adults from the community. So I just wanted to let everybody know it is for anyone in high school in Napa County and anyone who lives or works in Napa County.
So the Virtual Career Academy, again, it's a relatively new program. This will be our third cohort that we're going through. NapaLearns decided early on that we wanted to have it one-stop shopping. So once you're in the course, whether you pay or on scholarship, everything is included in the cost. That includes the curriculum, the software, and the exams. And the exams by themselves can be quite expensive, actually. If you go to the CompTIA, I just ordered them, it's $232, and you have to get 2 vouchers. So it costs you nearly $500 just to do the exam, much less the curriculum and everything else. So These are all going to be online. They are a model where the curriculum is done by, you guys are spending time during the week watching videos, doing readings through the curriculum that's provided by people like Cisco, Google, Adobe. So they created the curriculum that you guys are following. And then weekly, you can meet with the industry experts and experienced instructors that we have. So everyone here, all of our instructors know the field pretty well. And so they can help set the pace for you, make sure you get through it in a timely way, give you the support, someone to ask questions, because if you take these courses on your own, it's really hard to get answers if you aren't understanding something. And the instructors are also available for you to ask, by email and stuff. So it really helps people quite a lot. That's basically our secret sauce. And we also have, one of my jobs after the courses start is I spend time, making sure that you guys are on track as well. And if you're having trouble, I can reach out. I can help you come up with a plan. I'm not necessarily an expert in the, details of the course, but I can help you figure out, okay, you have 16 projects to do. Let's figure out times that we can do them so that you can get back on track. We want everybody to be able to succeed and make it all the way through the course. That is our goal. So we have our information session going on right now. The application is open. If you go to our website, you will find the summer application available to you. And you register for your online course, then we spend time helping you prepare for the exam and take the exam. And the way we do this is with instructor support. They're there weekly. The Zooms are not required, but most of the feedback we have gotten is that they are very helpful. The instructors are available by office hours and can help you with every aspect of the curriculum. A lot of times we get guest speakers in addition to what the instructors bring to you. We have a program called Career Chats, and we had one with Claudette that was about how to update your LinkedIn profile. And I learned a lot at that one. That really helped me. It is also helpful, what we found is that people who are going through with a group do better at finishing than people who do it on their own. So it's really important to get the feedback from others, the encouragement from others. So, and again, it's a wide range of individuals. So people who, come from different backgrounds learn from each other. And that's a really important aspect of this program that you don't find if you take it on your own. And then there are hiring resources after you're done. A lot of the companies have job boards, placement support, and we are working on a local employers network so that we can help you find a job locally. One interesting and useful thing, if you take this course, the goal is to get the industry certification. One really good side benefit, though, for those of you who are in high school, is some of them you can directly get college credit for. And then some of them you can get something called credit for prior learning or credit for prior experience, so that you can get college credit and also help you determine where you want to go once you're in your college career. Here are some of our partners. I mentioned Cisco and Google and Adobe, but Facebook and Instagram is going to be the focus of the social media marketing. Workforce Alliance and CareerPoint are our partners helping with getting people jobs. also Napa Valley Adult Ed. We have a lot of partners. We're all working together to help get you guys to succeed. Here are the details of the courses. So Programming Essentials in Python will get you the certificate called Entry Level Python Programmer, also known as the PCEP test. That starts on June 9th and it will be held on Wednesdays and it lasts 10 weeks. Social media marketing, the certification is called Facebook Blueprint, but it includes Instagram as well. And that will start June 14th and be on Mondays. And then Adobe Lab is going to be on Tuesdays and Thursdays because there are 2 instructors and we have, they each have different expertise. We'll set it up so that one's on Tuesdays, one's on Thursdays. And so you can figure out which one works best for you. Starts on June 22nd, goes for 8 weeks. Okay, so the instructors are going to give you course previews. Again, here are the instructors, but before we get that, oh, actually, let's go back. How do I go back? Nope. Okay, so let's go through the course previews. Okay, Lisa, actually, let's start with Nasser, if that's okay with you, Nasser. So what is it like to take Python programming?
So yeah, Python is currently the world's, the #1 programming language that's used out there. So it's very popular. It's used, in any sort of application. It's picking up a lot in networking applications too, because they write scripts, and Python scripts are great to get that job done. So the course actually is going to give you an introduction to Python, but it does cover all the material that you need to know to pass that certification exam. And really by getting that certification, even though certifications in programming may not count as much as some other certifications, but the amount of material you learn in the class, not only it prepares you for taking the exam, it also prepares you to move on to more advanced levels of Python. Of course, the good thing is then you can pick up any other language, because once you know one language, then getting into languages like Java or C++ becomes a lot easier. So it's going to be a great course. I think is especially if you're thinking of any kind of career in computer science or software development, it'd be a great course.
Does anybody have any questions specific to Python right now? Christian, go ahead.
What can I use Python for?
Python, Python is primarily used for processing text data. So if there's all the data from Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, they're all text. Text messages are obviously text. So Python is great for processing text, just because it gives you tons of predefined functionality to do that. Now Python is becoming really, really important in machine learning and artificial intelligence. And Python is open source, so everyone in the world can contribute to it. So it has essentially thousands of libraries that you can use. So you could use Python for almost any, well, not almost, for any application, whether it's scientific application, business application, medical application, and of course, anything that has to do with networking, you could use Python for. And it's one of the biggest selling point for it is that it's easy to learn, and it doesn't have a lot of overhead. So you could get into programming in Python very quickly over some other languages like Java or C++. Did that answer your question, Christian?
Yes, it did. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys can continue to, if you think of a question, feel free to put them in the chat, or there will be time for Q&A at the end as well. Okay, Claudette, why don't you go next?
Hello, everybody. My name is Claudette Chateau. Good evening. I know this is being recorded and that people will be watching this at home, but I just want to understand my live audience. So students or potential students, can you give me a thumbs up if this is the class you're interested in taking? Who's interested in social media marketing? Can I get just with the reaction, the little emoji button? Good, Alejandro. Okay, good, great. Glad to have you. So my name is Claudette, and the background about me, who I am, is how I learned. First of all, I didn't go to college to learn social media marketing or digital marketing. Let me just be clear. I had the internet in college only because I was in college. It wasn't in homes at the time. It was just something I had because in the 90s, college gave you internet. So this was definitely something that I learned on the job. And previously in my former life, I was the vice president of sales and marketing for one of the largest wineries here in the Napa Valley. So Visa Tui Winery is where I learned everything, how to be a digital marketer by just doing. That's how I learned, by Googling, like that's how I learned. And so fast forward about 5 years ago, I transitioned over to academics, and I am technically, you can call me professor, because as of this month, I received my tenureship at the college, and I teach business. Business is primarily what I teach, but my specialty and my passion really is marketing. I teach traditional marketing, but I've really transitioned over to teaching digital marketing because that's really where I feel the direction not only is where you can see your results, but it's really the direction that most companies have a digital marketing campaign. So I teach 2 classes, just so you know, at NapaLearns, I teach 2 classes. I do teach digital marketing, which encompasses SEO and mobile marketing, and it touches a little bit on social media marketing. This summer, I'll be doing a deep dive into social media. So that's really the only subject we talk about is social media. Specifically, we do the major focus on Instagram and on Facebook, right? So I know TikTok's out there, and I know, there's LinkedIn, there's Twitter, there's tons of other social media platforms, which we brush upon, but really the deep dive is into Facebook and Instagram. Now, to be very, very clear, I'm not teaching you how to take the perfect selfie, and I'm not teaching you about Instagram filters. What I'm teaching you is how to effectively market a business. So we really talk about content strategy, and really, really, like, my focus is on a content strategy plan and also paid advertising, because in the business world, it's all about pay to play. So in addition to learning through Facebook modules, so you learn through Facebook and Instagram modules, you'll also be learning through me, my real world experience. And we work on what's called a content strategy plan. So if you're going to take this class, just know that you'll be either working with a business in the real world or your own business. So this is perfect for you if you're looking to grow your business or learn how to grow a business using social media marketing. I think that's the super high level, all of that in 8 weeks. By the end of the 8 weeks, you have something like 12 individual certifications from Facebook, and then you'll sit for the certification exam as well. It's a 90-minute exam. As Michelle mentioned, it's expensive alone. I think it's $100 alone just to sit for that exam. But by the time the 8 weeks is over, you will be very versed and should have no problems passing that certification exam through Facebook. Questions for me?
Yeah, does anybody have any questions?
You'll be spending your summer Monday nights with me.
Awesome. Well, let's talk about Adobe Lab for now.
Michelle?
Oh, yes.
Oh, before, I wish I'd followed Claudette, because I forgot to tell you guys anything about myself. So, Claudette, by the way, I like what Claudette asked. Can I get a thumbs up for those of you who want to take the Python class? Christian? Oh, Christian has his hands up. But okay, good, good. Yeah, so just to tell you guys about a little bit about myself, I teach at a community college in Las Vegas, Nevada. So I've been teaching here for about 26 years now, and I teach programming classes and database courses. So I taught this Python course, I've taught it many years. And by the way, if you do go through the first course, I think you'll probably want to get the follow-up course, which is the advanced Python that really gets you into the field of programming. So I just wanted to say that before, I guess, but I forgot.
Sure.
And it
Again.
looked like Shayla had a question. Her hand went up. Yeah, right. Shayla, you have a question.
Yeah, for the social media class, how old you have to be to take that class?
There's no age limit. So that's a really good question because you're not, well, yeah, let me explain this. You do have to have an Instagram or a Facebook account in order to log in to the online teaching. But you are not going to be logging into the company's social media and actually posting for them. So let's say I partner you with a local business here in Napa or in any county. You're going to put together a content strategy plan for them, but you're not actually crafting their social media and logging in for them. So as far as age goes, technically, I think Facebook has a minimum age required. Yeah, you have to be 13 to have an account for Facebook. So that's the answer.
Now,
Okay.
I'm going to jump in there and say for all of our courses, the minimum is 13. You can't go any younger than that. We had a middle school kid sneak in last time, but we'll be checking that out because will be liable if somebody under 13 gets on the platforms, all of the different learning platforms.
Shayla, did that answer your question?
Yeah, I have a 12-and-a-half-year-old and I have a 16-and-a-half. So that's why and then myself said,
Shayla, I'm going to be really honest with you. And I know the subject matter is social media and that's a sexy topic. And you think it might be appropriate for a 13-year-old. I'm just going to say this is really more high level and more business strategies. And it's it has a lot to do with business strategies that sometimes is just way over their head. So, I mean, honestly, I would probably say 16 and over probably would be more appropriate for.
Sounds good.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Peg.
Yes. Lisa and JP. Lisa, do you want to go first?
Sure. I'm Lisa Gottfried. I teach at New Technology High School as the digital design teacher, 9th through 12th grade. I also teach adults at Thoreau University about how to use all sorts of digital media. And I'm an Adobe education leader. So I'm well tied in with Adobe. I use many different pieces of software. In fact, I think everything that you listed, I know how to teach it. Everything from Premiere Pro to Photoshop to Illustrator to all of those things. So, and if I don't know the answer to a question, I know somebody who does. So I'm pretty fearless about helping with any of those programs, even if don't have my fingers in them every day. And so what I would say is I'm kind of excited about the summertime because we're going to get a wide range of people wanting to do a wide range of applications in the Adobe sphere. And I think JP and I both have, pretty broad knowledge of all of those programs. So it'll be exciting in that you will definitely be learning on your own, trying to keep pace. And in that way, like as a group, we can kind of stay together and support each other to get the work done. Like, okay, this week you should be on week 1, this week you should be on week 2, but everybody's going to be learning something different. And so it'll be fun to share what we're working on and get support around it. And we'll get a wide variety of things to look at and questions to answer. So I think it should be a really fun opportunity to get creative. JP, do you want to say anything about like what you think so far of teaching Photoshop, or as you've had experience with that this semester?
Sure. So this was my first time teaching
Facilitating it.
facilitating
Yeah.
the Photoshop class. And I have to say it's pretty great coming from like, let me back up a second. So I've been using Photoshop for about like, gosh, I want to say like 20 years now and stuff. And so starting from, getting a hold of it and then teaching it myself a little bit, teaching it, kind of learning on my own, kind of experimenting with it, then eventually going to college, and going to like a digital art school, and then which landed me in the game industry for about 6+ years, working on games. So that's my background. And then now I teach at Vintage. I teach the digital media class at Vintage. So I like to the way I look at these tools are through the lens of like kind of like all the things that I enjoy, whether it be games, anime, movies, television, all those things. Those what excite me. And so teaching people these tools, it kind of like it's their opportunity to break into that industry as well, because those are the sort of gateway to those tools. And so like and so what's really great about thinking about this summer is that a lot of the different students are going to be kind of have their hands in a lot of different things. And it's exciting because it's one thing to kind of learn something on your own and try to teach it to yourself and try to find the great resources to kind of like teach yourself, but you'll have access to some really great tutorials and walkthroughs and projects that you will do every week that kind of show you a little bit, whether it be Photoshop or Premiere or even After Effects. You're going to be doing a little bit every week, because I can honestly say that like when you start to get into the Adobe products, it becomes more of a I guess it kind of becomes more of a lifestyle, because it's like in order to do well with the exams and stuff, you kind of have to go beyond the even the tutorials and the little projects. You got to like get your hands in on like other little things. And then once you start to become better at whether it be Photoshop or even After Effects and stuff like that, then all these little opportunities start to open up for you. It starts off with that uncle who has this business and is like, hey, can you make a logo for my truck? You know what I mean? To next thing you know, you get approached by maybe a local org who wants you to make a social media video for them. You know what I mean? It kind of opens up quite a bit. All the while you learn how to use even some of the painting tools in Photoshop, and then you're like, I want to be an animator. I want to paint backgrounds for anime, or I want to paint backgrounds for Netflix animation and stuff like that. So it's the once you start to get into the Adobe Creative Cloud tools, it opens up all these different possibilities. And having been on the other side myself in the industry, I can tell you for a fact that if I can get in the industry, you can too.
Can I just say that one JP's current TA, who went through the course with me through Virtual Career Academy, did Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign, Abby, is doing paid work now using InDesign. He did not enjoy actually learning InDesign, and he turns to me all the time and says, I can't believe I'm making money in InDesign. I can't believe I'm actually doing this. Now I see what the point was for that particular app. So he's already off and making money using his certification. So it's really cool. You can get cool gigs out of, even while you're in high school, you can get paid gigs out of it.
if I could steal the motto of the old college that I went to, is that you can make your passion your profession. It's kind of cringe, but you know, it's kind of true. If you want to create and do that sort of thing, you could make it your job. So
Lisa and JP, you have a question in the chat.
sure. Let's see what we got
What's
here.
the class schedule? Oh, we haven't figured that one
Before
out yet.
that,
Oh, would
there's
you
another
recommend
question
this
before that.
class for a teen interested in an animation career? I think I would definitely recommend, you know, if it depends, if they don't have experience yet in Photoshop, you might start there. You could also start in After Effects. That would be great. There, I don't know if you can do Adobe Animate through the tutorials that we have, but that's another fabulous place if you're interested in animation.
Yeah, there's some fundamentals that like even Premiere and even like After Effects will teach you about animation, like keyframe,
motion,
like that. Yeah. Moving things, making stuff, you know, for your first step will be making something move on the screen, and then it kind of builds from there.
Yep.
So
There are, Animate is available through Brain Buffet.
Oh, so I would recommend it. I don't know that I can support it because I've never used it, but we can figure it out.
Yeah, no, it's totally cool.
Again, fearless.
And then as far as schedule is concerned, I think well, Tuesday, Thursdays, right? And then we just have to determine like what time. But we usually, I don't know about you, Lisa, but evenings are probably what work best for me, I suppose.
I don't know. I haven't thought about it.
Yeah.
For the summer, it could be different.
Yeah.
Normally during the school year, our classes are evening. A lot of people do 6 to 7, you know, some do earlier or later, but it's definitely in the evening, partially to accommodate the adults who are taking the class, because a lot of
Which
them,
we may still need to do. A lot of adults work through the summer, so yeah, it'll probably be in the evening.
So I'm really glad that you guys brought up jobs because this is the Virtual Career Academy. There are in the Bay Area a lot of jobs that are either graphic design, videos, all of those kinds of things. And if you guys could speak to about working remotely, because you know we're doing this virtually. Remote work has become much more a thing. So and I'm going to come back to Nasser and Claudette about that in a minute, but you guys go ahead and go first this time.
I owned a video production company for 17 years before I became a teacher, and many of my clients were all around the world. And I did a lot of motion graphics and animated type things for people all over the world. So it does provide an opportunity, and I've been talking to my daughter about this too. She wants to travel the world, and she's got some of these skills, so she could potentially be anywhere. In fact, the gentleman who did a lot of the tutorials that we do, especially in Photoshop, oh my gosh, his name has been lost out of my brain.
I could never remember his name.
Oh my gosh, Rob Schwartz.
Yeah.
So Rob used to live in the United States, but he's a graphic designer and does other things, photography and other Adobe type things. He now lives in Puerto Rico, I believe, and works remotely from there, and has, you know, another life, and travels around Puerto Rico. So yeah, it can be done.
Yeah, I don't have much to add to that other than yes, a lot of except for like maybe like filmmaking and you know that sort of thing, you kind of need to go on location, but a lot of game development and a lot of other, like, you know, a lot of artists now who use the Adobe products are working from home, and so it's definitely possible.
Sure, Nasser can speak to being a code monkey. Whoops, you're muted.
Sorry about that. Yeah, software developers definitely could work from anywhere in the world. All you have to do is really get the job done. And you probably don't even have that many meetings per se, because coders usually work in their own cubicle. And But yeah, it's definitely the thing. And most of my consulting job, programming job was all remote. And so yeah, so definitely in coding, remote is the way to go, actually.
And I wanted to mention that those people in high school, Michelle mentioned at the beginning, but we already know that one student who took Python as a senior is pretty confident that he's going to be able to take that certification to his college he's going to. He's majoring in computer science, and he's very confident he'll be able to skip a course, if not two, because of getting that. So intro to coding, he's probably already covered that. We are working hard on getting college credit for all of the different courses that we're offering, but those are your seniors and going into college. You should look into it if you've passed a certification or you're going to talk with your college that you're going into to see if you can get credit for the courses you're taking.
Nasser, what's the demand for programmers out there right now?
It's incredibly high. Demand for coders has always been high, and continues to be high, just because everything is being automated, and actually the demand in artificial intelligence and machine learning is picking up greatly. So, and Python is one of those languages of choice for especially for machine learning. So yeah, demand is very high. Now, just with an intro to programming class, your chance of getting a job, even an entry-level job, is pretty limited, because you still need that depth of knowledge that you need with a few programming classes. But definitely a beginning and advanced course is gonna get your foot in the door. And one of the things I stress when I teach is making students teachable. The idea is that we just, I get you for 10 weeks, right? We get people for 10, 12 weeks or 16 weeks. But the goal really is, are you able to take that knowledge and then be able to be trained more, in more advanced features. So what I hear from the industry is usually is like, give me someone who's eager to learn. So just having that attitude toward learning, it's a big part of the whole process.
Great. Claudette, do you have any insight on jobs in the digital marketing, specifically social media marketing world?
Well, I can tell you is that I get all of the emails from employers in the county that are looking for college students and looking for interns. And that is the number one request we're getting, is social media marketers. They're looking for college kids to help market their business. Peg and team and Michelle, I don't know if you know this, but a former student that took the digital marketing course and is very successful in the social media marketing course, did get an internship with the radio station. She is stellar, like blowing us away. And I couldn't be more proud. So I definitely want to showcase, tell her story. And so I need to give a shout out for her, because she's doing amazing work at the radio station. So obviously, yes. I mean, every business is looking for someone to help them with their social.
That's great. And again, you may not be tied to just businesses in Napa. You could be working for a company virtually anywhere. So the world has, changed. I think, Claudette, you can say when you first started at Visa TUI, the whole marketing world has changed dramatically.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
I mean, but granted, when I started at Visa TUI, we had just launched the website, and we didn't have an e-com store. People couldn't put their credit cards in. Anyways, that was a long time ago. Definitely has changed.
That's awesome. So if anybody has any more questions, definitely pop them in the chat, raise your hand. I just want to hit a few key points before we open it up to Q&A. right now in our timeline, you're here, you're at an info session, enrollment is open, and I just realized we didn't change the link in this slide because you should be going to napalearns.org/VCA/summer. I will put it in the chat for you. And then, we'll get you set up for your course. It is first come, first serve for the summer. So I would highly recommend that you do it soon. Okay.
And I'd like to say just thank you for all of you for being here. And if you hear of other people who want to, I have to get off, so I'm going to say my goodbyes right now. If you have other people who would be interested, the recording of this meeting will be available soon. So we'll be sending out an email to people to let them know that the recording is available. And we have until May 31st. Michelle can confirm that for you to apply for the summer. So thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Thanks, Michelle. Thanks, instructors.
Yep.
Shayla, I see your hand up again. I did see your comment, but do you have another question before Michelle moves on?
Yes, Michelle mentioned that program for animation is available through what? I just want to give that to my daughter. She's interested in animation and she'll be signing up for the class.
The curriculum provider for the Adobe is called Brain Buffet, and you will get access when you get accepted into or when the class starts. So we
Nice.
provide the curriculum.
But
okay.
we will say that neither JP nor I have used Adobe Animate to any extent. So if you have a younger one that's taken the program, they're really, we'll be there to see if we can help them, but we're not experts in that particular program. But there are, like, After Effects is something that would be great for an animator. Both of us have experience with After Effects. Premiere Pro is a great one for film editing and motion, and we can help with
Exactly.
that as well.
Yeah, I appreciated that you mentioned that because all these other programs can help her.
Yeah.
And then it's also interesting to see other programs because, they might think they like something and they might switch later on. You need to get exposed to different things.
Right.
But thank you. So the enrollment is open as we speak. That's I understand. Okay. Thank you.
So I wanted to talk briefly about the course requirements. Number one, you will be doing a lot of independent work. And so it is important that you commit to being able to do the work in addition to the Zoom class. It's not like a regular school. You go to class, your teacher, tells you all the things you need to know, and then you get tested on it. It doesn't work like that. So, and it is important to keep up. So make sure you can do the assignments in a timely way. All of our classes are based on technology, not just because we're virtual, also because we feel really strongly that this is the way the future is going to go. Most of our courses are beginner level to start with. Nasser mentioned that, after you finish this course in Python, there's another course of Python, and that's a little bit more advanced. So most of the ones you start with beginning level, but there will be options to take higher level courses. Now, particularly with the Adobe courses, a Chromebook will not work for the Adobe requirements. So you do need to have a PC or Mac. We do have some loaner computers available, and you will indicate on your application if you need one. We have a section about that. Obviously, this is a virtual academy, so a strong, reliable Wi-Fi, which I know we've all had problems with Wi-Fi and Zooms and all the things, but the better your Wi-Fi, the easier it's going to be, frankly. And each course may have some additional requirements. Does anybody have any questions about the course requirements before I move on?
Can you speak to how many hours per week that's
Sure.
expected?
Sure. It varies somewhat by class. Most of the classes are going to require at least 5 hours a week outside of your Zoom time. Some of the more advanced classes, like we just started the cyber ops class, that's probably going to be closer to 10 hours per week. It is a lot of information. So our general rule of thumb is 5 to 10 hours per week. So
And what we found with the Adobe stuff is that students who've had experience already in Adobe can keep it to 5, but beginning people who have never touched any of these programs, it's more like 10.
You have to do the projects. I mean, and the only way to do them is to get on Adobe and on the Creative Cloud and do them. And there's a lot of revisions that happen. So you're back and forth all the time. It's not, you just throw something together, and you can't wait until the last minute and try to cram this stuff in. It really doesn't work well that way.
And I would also say too that like it's important that you're not required to share your stuff when we meet, but it's like it's good because you can get feedback from any of us and even your peers in the class as well, because it like you want to you can't, when you're working in these programs, you can't work in a vacuum. It's like somebody will, you may see some, you may be able to point out something to someone that they didn't catch, or we might be able to kind of point out something that to look at it in a different perspective or something like that, or just kind of give you feedback to help you improve your work. You know what I mean? Because it's not just about learning how to use the tools, it's also about creating like good content and stuff like that too. So
Agreed.
And I was going to say, programming is just the same. It is could be very time consuming. It doesn't have to be, but it can be. So yeah, I would say even for a beginning programming class, I would say 5 to 8 hours a week is because especially in my class, you will get weekly projects. And that's really the best way to learn this stuff anyways. The course isn't really to get you answer multiple choice questions on a certification exam. The goal is to make you think and especially critically think and write code. So I just want to say that, yeah, we do meet once a week, Zoom live lectures, and then of course I'm available during the week for any questions, but it could be time consuming.
And I wanted to end with some tips for success. And I'm going to tell you, I stole these from a Google presentation I saw. You guys, especially the high school students, have had a different experience with the virtual learning. And so some of these things you may have already done. It's actually taken some of our adults by surprise, because virtual learning is very different than what they were used to when they were in school. So tips for success include create a space to learn. A lot of people have set aside spaces in their house, that is for their virtual classes. It helps if you set daily goals, not just for studying. I've been setting daily goals on work I have to get done, other things in my life, and it's actually helping me be more productive. And you can break down the bigger goal into smaller steps that seem more attainable, so that you're not constantly freaking out. Because I have a bad habit myself of, having this big plan of something. We just moved. And so the whole process of moving, you had to break down, okay, I need to get this done today, right? So that really helps with these courses as well. Schedule your time for studying. So if you have a job during the day, set aside time in the evening. If you set aside 1 hour Monday through Friday, then you've got your 5 hours, right? And then a few more hours on the weekend if you need. I think, making that time and actually putting it on your schedule is important. If you don't actively engage with the course material, you're not really going to learn what is needed. And like Nasser was saying, it's not just about passing the test. It's about learning the material so that when you do go to college or get that job, you know what you're talking about. It sets a foundation for further learning. Really important. keep yourself accountable. Your instructors will be checking in with you. I will be checking in with you, but ultimately it's up to you to keep yourself accountable. It's really important to sometimes take a break. I actually schedule my breaks now so that I know, I'm going to work on this for half an hour. I'm going to take a 5-minute break and then I'm going to come back and jam again. And don't ever hesitate to reach out for help, whether it's your instructors or me, or even your peers that you get to know throughout the course. You can always reach out for help and say, either I'm not understanding this and I need to figure out the content, or I'm just struggling with making a plan to get it done. Always be willing to reach out. We are here for you. We want to see you succeed. So with that, that's all I have to say. Does anybody have any further questions before we call it a night? Great to have you all here. I am so looking forward to seeing you guys in classes. It's going to be an exciting summer. And once we get through the summer, we will have made it through our first year of this new program, and you can be a part of it. So happy to have you. If you have anything else, reach out to, you can go to the website. I'm going to put my email in the chat as well so that you have that. If that's all, looks like we are going to be able to end on time, which is a really good thing too. Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.